Hey guys, good morning. As you can see, I don't have my headset on. I don't have me ready at all this morning. I apologize. I think we're going to be good. I haven't played too much with her, and it seems like we're going to hear just fine. My eyes have been killing me this morning. I had a few things to do. And there's something about being retired that everybody goes, okay, you have plenty of time. Come over here and do this. So, of course, this is still for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to be here all week. Cover's free. Got to drink 3 drinks though at the bar here with me. They give me time enough to check you out, put you on the other microphone. I need somebody out there to come over and see me so I can have a podcast where I ask somebody else questions. That'll be different. I am starting to get a few. I see we're still a little bit too loud or too close. I have a very loud voice between being an Army veteran and being a Chicagoan. I talk really, really loud. Excuse me. And my allergies are going, having fun yet, bitch? It's just, sorry about the language. It's like too early in the morning to be quite copacetic about it. I take medications for it that the VA bills me much less than say it's Nexium, which is I think like 48 now at Walmart. It's like no, I need a kidney stone, so I'll check you later. When I want the roast and the medicine, I'll go ahead and sell the kidney to you. So what I'm wondering is when they're going to go. Oh, okay, these guys all live on a fixed budget. I get up here and fidget every blooming time. I don't know why. Don't ask. It's just, and I think it's a nervous twitch. It's not so easy to get up and look at a screen where you've gained like 400 pounds. Not a word. It's only 40. Uh, so I'm hoping I'm in a better mood than I was a little bit ago. My husband's got to run out and do stuff. I always call him my husband. Robert has to go do shit. So that guy, when he goes past me, he's got his back to me heading out the front door anyway. It's going to storm apparently all day, and I don't want to go anywhere in one of those. So I'm going to sit around and I don't know, find a disaster movie or some shit. I mean, has anybody watched anything on YouTube besides? For me, it's kind of like my live stream. I go in there for the paranormal well, a lot of stuff, history, paranormal, Anunnaki, the pyramids, how they hook up, and what they might be. Christopher Dunn's another good book, by the way, if anybody's been following me at all. And I say book. I mean, of course, you can get the little CDs that will read it to you, but for the love of God, don't buy it from Amazon as a read to you because they do not pay the authors. And I'm a published author, so I know this. They do not pay the author. So if you want to make sure the author of said book or whatever gets paid by the book, donate it to the library if you don't want to keep them. I have 200 plus year old books, literally. And it upsets me to wonder what will happen to them when I go. My grandson wants some of them. I have 3 on Egypt alone that are absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen them anywhere else. And one of them we bought at Barnes and Noble. My husband and I ran off into Barnes, and he knows I love Barnes and Noble. And it was before we were still doing AOL. Everybody made, what I'm talking about. So, you read still. And actually, I still do. I'll take a book any day. I don't want it on the screen. And I had to work with this stuff literally as we're designing it. And I'm having to pick it to run my offices. I'm having to pick it to run my divisions, like connected to 2 other hospitals. So there are 3 hospitals that I'm picking out shit for. I'm 25 or whatever. Like, yeah. So we get to this point, in 2010. I don't know if anybody else knows. I noticed. We got to 2010. We got the smartphones. Everything leveled out. It was bitching. So maybe I do it a little love. I did no longer have to, send people through school every 6 months. I didn't have to attend college every 6 months. We didn't have to teach, every 6 to 8 months new equipment. And it still is awesome. Yes, they've gone, I think it was Windows Express. I still have a dinosaur, is what my grandson calls it. I still have the dinosaur computer, not the flat screen. It's smaller, but it's like the white ones, but smaller, and it's gray. And I like it for ping pong. And I'm serious. And it's AOL, but I think it's Windows Express. So that'd be probably their first one, with the tower and all that with it. And my grandson keeps saying, "Grandma, you need to get rid of that." I'm like, "What the hell for? It works." I mean, I get up there trying to beat my score. Oh man, it is. I don't get out much. I mean, what can I say? Let's see, was there? Yes, the IDF. I don't know if they lost anyone. I couldn't watch completely. I had to run through showers and stuff. Um, they did arrest. I think it was 160 of uh, combatants. We'll call them, and I think several were killed. And I hate to hear that on either side. And they do take prisoners. They don't kill everything they see moving. What was heart wrenching to me, it's a hard thing. And I worked in the hospital field literally since I had my own little operation game. Um, and I trained that way. And I trained others as well, to be service people, but still be able to be a medic. I would have loved to have been there when my grandson went to Fort Sam Houston. I love Sam Houston. Went back 6 times. Not to I didn't always get to go back to the base, but I went back to the city of San Antonio. So yes, I love that place, and I was very, very, very proud of him. And he's now in Korea serving. That worries me, but not as bad as if he, yeah. And he's a medic, so. But seemingly, if you ask me, these, and I know the Russians too, because I've seen the pictures of them saying, children are here, and it's straight to it. I mean, these are smart bombs. And they're calling back. Are you sure you want this? It's got children on it. Yeah, and Putin's going, yeah. I mean, I make a joke of it. It's not funny at all, of course. But what in God's name is this going on for? At some point, we've got to go and get together and do a social Woodstock. Let's show everybody that peace is the way to be. No, I do not believe in the Bible thumping idiocy that people run rampant with. And, donate till they've got 2 fancy planes and 14 mansions. I think that's the most ludicrous shit I've ever seen in my life. Seriously, read the damn book first. If you can read the book, you don't need some jackass up there telling you what to do. And I can hear you now telling me, "Oh, but we have to tithe." Do so. And indeed, do so. Tithe to the kitchens that feed the homeless. Tithe to the ones that make blankets to give to the homeless. Tithe to them. You give to God what is God's, and you give to Caesar what is Caesar's. So that tithe that you're handing these immoral creeps, mind you, and we're talking about they just shuffle the deck whenever they start raping kids again, and which also hits my bad spot. Now, be a church. And you are the church. It's not the preacher that's standing up there talking to y'all about hell. Read the book. And then, if you still want to go on every Sunday, which by the way is the wrong day, read the Torah. You'll find out you can read it. It's the Old Testament. Read it, and then listen to what your preacher be talking about. Not a good goddamn thing. That most of the ones I've seen and investigated could not pour piss out of a boot. Couldn't tell shit from Shinola, as my daddy used to say. I mean, it's just that stupid. It's not it's not evangelism. It's a cult. If you're going to raise that kind of money and your congregation in the millions, how many of them do you think they didn't come because they're homeless? Why? You can buy a freaking plane not once but twice, but you cannot help your constituents who are homeless. And I don't just blame the churches, by the way. You can throw the rest of your politicians in there too. And they're even worse. They're treasonous. They're treason. I could level a state of treason against nearly everybody in Congress. Which, for those who don't know, everybody in the Senate, everybody in the House. For years, they've been treason. But I've already got on my soapbox and I'll kindly step down, which they may end up editing this and saying you can't say that, which again, yes, I can. I'm supposed to have freedom of speech. If you can let an idiot walk around in a Palestinian flag, burning my flag, the American flag, while walking across the campus at Harvard, you shouldn't be able to touch my speech. Just saying, folks. Asking for a friend. I like that. That was a good opening. Catch anybody? I figured if I tried politics, I might get one or two. Be trying to sell a vote. But now we go back, switch back to funny. Leave politics alone. Yeah, I only have to think about politics. I mean, just literally give it 2 seconds of thought, and I'm on a soapbox. If I had people around, I could slap. You can't slap stupid off, but I'd give it a hell of a try. I mean, we slap them once, slap them twice, and slap them again. Now, damn, that didn't work, but it sure was fun trying. This organized religious shit, get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's not any good. If any of you out there believe in a supreme being, then you know something else that was told to you. If you know your Bible at all, read your damn Bible. Excuse me, Lord. Don't have somebody else preach it to you. Know it. Read it. Look it up for yourself. Read the Quran. What does it hurt to learn what it is? I didn't say read it in Arabic. I just said read it. Skim it. You know? Knowledge is ours to pursue at the tips of our fingertips. Literally. Right there. We have to learn. And the only way to do so in my day was to go to 15 different libraries and get 30 books each. And I did. I did. And if it hadn't been for people like Eric Von Daniken and Ed Lorraine Warren, subsequently Ancient Aliens, and all kinds of paranormal phenomena. I can't even list what's going to hell on right now. It's like there's 15 portals to hell opened every other darn day. Yes, people, biblical shit is happening. I'm talking, hi, this is a certain clustered duck, okay? Already. If you haven't seen, have you ever seen a camel float in your life? Now, I'm 65 almost. I mean, no jokes. Keep those out of the comments. I am 65 shortly, and I didn't watch television up until when I could cut back to like 8 jobs, so it'd be in my 50s. So that would be this century then, and a few of the others that we just throw on tape so I could see it later. Never got to. No, you didn't get that shit. But at what point do we all think, I mean, my generation, I'm talking about the hippies, do we all think we shouldn't talk about this? Somebody's going to get mad. Somebody's going to get offended. Screw that. Did you watch Archie Bunker when you was a kid? Did you watch Jefferson when you was a kid? Did you watch Yosemite Sam when you were a kid? Did you watch Elmer Fudd? Gonna kill a rabbit, gonna kill a rabbit. Did you go out and shoot people because you watched a cartoon? Hell no. You knew it was a cartoon. And now there's nothing on. Sesame Street went as soon as Jim Henson died. So these kids are growing up without nothing but these stupid little pants where they're ripping people to shreds and there's blood everywhere. It's time. And I agree. I went fought against the teachers. I mean, face to face at the board. It didn't make a damn to me which one it was. And I've got some stories, I'll tell you. And they changed things immediately for me. I did not even have to go a second time, nor was I ever threatened. Because there's no way on this earth that had been stupid enough to threaten me. That was my children in that school. And there's certain things you don't tell a minor. And they went right over that hump as if she was 21, 22 years old. It's a wonder I didn't have to have bail money. So, yeah, I did do that. But now, and I've gone to jail. to say, because I was up there. I wasn't nice. No, I was not nice. I was honest, open, and you do the shit again, and I'm going to see you in jail. You know? Now they get up there and they go, well, you can't teach my child to do Muslim prayers. And suddenly these 15 cops got him and they're dragging him out backwards. They've torn his shirt and his pants, and he's in jail for 4 weeks with a $12,000 fine. What the hell? That you realize that's going to continue, right, folks? Unless we do some kind of change, any kind of change, talk, get together about it. I didn't say attack your local hardware store so the Blackhawks can stand down out there. I'm an Army veteran. We won't go into who, what, when, where, why. And yeah, I'm a published author as well. I've done some things in my days that I'm proud of. Sure, shooting as everybody else has. But I'm retired now. And we have this. This has been here. They made me get on because I had to use this stuff at work. I got so frustrated that every 6 months it stopped. And you're back in school. Then you're back teaching the other girls you've got hired, how to do it. And by the time you're through with that, they have another bitch sitting there waiting. And phones and everything changed every 6. It was ridiculous. It was tiring. It was maddening. And usually it was me who had the rank. So I didn't just get to take the class. I had to take the class, run them after I got off, run all my girls, boys, mainly girls, and make sure it was right. And I'm talking after military is civil service. Yeah, everywhere. So that was fun, as you can tell. Let's see, what else was there? Oh, yeah, hit the darn like button, fellas. I know I was swearing a little bit this morning, but my face feels like it's this big. And it actually looks that big on the screen. It might be a good look for me. I don't know. You have to let me know. Hit the like, share, subscribe on that bell. I need 1,000. We need 1,000 to get out there. We need 1,000. If they're dragging parents out of schools where their children go because they don't want this or that taught. Oh God, I've been dug out every blooming day. I never waited for a board sitting. I might have run into him accidentally, but no, I went straight for the the head of the school is always the principal. I know I worked that way for the whole time. I was like from 6th grade on. I went straight for the principal's throat. I will have your job in 10 days. Mark your calendar. And that shit was taken care of in less than 24 hours, and that teacher would be fired and should have been. I want no one to lose their job, but they're not teaching my 13-year-old stepdaughter all this nonsense and rape and all this crap. I will own you in 10 days. And that's more time than you should be given. I don't know where he went. Don't care where he went. Teacher went with him. Needed a divorce, fired 3 attorneys, $6,000. I couldn't believe what they make for a phone call. It's like $600. It was just stupid. You're fired, And then I went to the law library because all this is still new. And I'm running to 3 hospitals on the new stuff. Okay, I had picked Dell, brand new out of the door. They had a great, IT department. So, this is running 3 hospitals on the same things and connected. And I'm on top. Yeah. Heavy sets the crown. You love that stuff. And I had hired all the girls that were doing. This is basically dead entry. You're gathering this information from these 3 hospitals. You're collating. You put it together in a report that goes in a book. So that basically that's it. But you had to go get it from the morgue, from the doctors, whatever, from NICU. And it's hard to go to the morgue. It was one of the worst things. I really hated that. I only have 1 child myself. I only have 1. Had some problems, but I'm good with 1. I wasn't going to have any. So I'm just saying. But yeah, we've all had a power job. And these things kept coming. In 2010, the only thing they decided to keep changing was the software. And it's now Windows 12.5.5. I know, freaking no. If it pulls up, I fill in the passwords and I link it up, and I'm like, next. I got so used to them doing it. Same with the phones. Robert put me on a cell phone in 1990. And I didn't even, and we had the big Nokia type ones, and I kind of wore it like it was a gun holster. I was used to that kind of thing. So that's the way, and I wore mine that way right up until smartphones came out. And once smartphones came out, they just didn't sit right. They were too heavy. That it looked like you had a man purse on. It didn't go with shit. So, others were cool, throw a cowboy hat on, nice little duster, gold belt, that little thing hanging off your hip. They weren't sure if you're going to shoot him or tell a joke. uh, I'm trying to watch my counter because my husband wants to leave, and I promised he could do that. I'm not sure if I can keep that promise, but I'm working it. We'll put it that way. So, sorry. My throat's been bothering me real bad lately with the pollen, and it being from the north, you can hear I'm stuffy. Well, I just sound northern anyway. But I get real stuffy, and then my throat seems to like close up, like a dryness. And believe me, I don't want to tell my doctor another damn thing. If it's not bleeding, it doesn't need cauterizing, it doesn't need removal, I'm good for the next year. It's not like I don't love the VA. In fact, my husband's father, my father, and I adored him. His name was Noble too. He was a great guy, funny, womanizer to his dying breath. Bless him. Was a great guy. Treated me wonderfully well. And we lost him, of course. We all, you can't get out of life alive is one of my favorites, but it still hurts and you miss him. It takes time to realize that, yeah, you're going to go up there too, so it's okay. And how we used to hear him calling, waking us up. It's after 6, get your ass up. And he was a Korean vet. And he knew I was an Army vet and all that. So he didn't have to call and get me up. I was up. But I could hear him coming down the hallway. And we inherited his mother's home. And his father would come down the hall to wake him up. I know people don't believe in the paranormal, but they should watch some of these. If you're going to try to see something that's really good, go to Dark Ghost and go to Tim Morozov. Either one of those two. There's King Frost, there's Slap Tam. If you want to see some good videos, all of those. And I know I don't need to throw it because you heard me say it, but I'll throw it in the comments if you want. But look those guys up and woo. I'm like, where is this coming from? What's going on here? I've been investigating the paranormal since I was a young kid. I mean, literally almost 60 years I've investigated. I mean, literally, it was Ed and Lorraine Warrens were the only ones even trying to understand what it was. My first encounter was the back door off the kitchen with the glass window. And of course, we girls got the cleanup. Problem was, I never knew where my sister went. She's younger. She slipped right past the net. So I was in there, of course, alone. And father and mother were World War II, World War One, Depression era. They were a lot older than us. And my dad was Navy and had fought during Pearl Harbor. Well, he lost 2 brothers. It's a long story, but he would talk about it. In any event, he was Pacific. He said Pacific, and that's what he would say. And I don't know how you get a couple of Purple Hearts just zooming around the Pacific, but he had a couple, and I was very proud of it. But he was very spick and span, and that's the military way. And at the time, I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? So he would come in and check the kitchen, and if you didn't, wash everything, the faucet, the counters, the stove, make sure nothing's on there. And I still do to this day, and I appreciate that he taught me that because I had to do it when I got in the Army anyway. So when I clean the kitchen, it all gets clean. Men are cute. They're so cute. They clean the kitchen. What you do, dear? I took out the trash. Or, honey, what you do? You say you clean the kitchen. Yeah, I love the dirty dishes in the dishwasher. This 14 things been spilled on the floor. There's grease up the wall. They ain't seen none of that. So, Dad, this is one of my dad work nights at Sears. He was at what they call nowadays a lumber. He would unload the truck and stuff. And he was, he retired from there. And sure enough, since he was working nights and all, uh, I turned to dry my hands on the tea towel. And I would have hung it back up and I could have left the kitchens were done and maybe I could catch like Starsky and Hutch or whatever. And when I turned back, this thing, I can't describe it. It was any better than that. It was a thing, but I couldn't move. Whatever it was, I went. I understand there's a difference between terrified and petrified. Petrified, you cannot move. In your head, you're screaming, running. You've already made it 4 miles away. You haven't batted an eyelash, not made even a whimper. You're just frozen. And it's evil. There's no question that it's evil. I think I was 10 and a half, something like that. I wasn't quite a teenager in any event. So you're frozen. You can't move. You're doing everything you can to move because you got to get the hell up out of there. So that you're frozen. It feels like for hours. And then my mother called my name, and when she did, I came out of it, and that thing wasn't there any longer. It was like it was a projection or something. I ran out of there screaming like my hair was on fire. Have you ever tried to tell a 70-year-old woman and you're 10 that you just saw the boogeyman at the window? There aren't words. I did get a lovely hot chocolate out of it. So, what like today, you didn't stick it in the microwave. Mother used, the real milk, not that powdered thing. I won't do that either. I will, however, shove that sucker in the microwave. On her microwave before she passed away. She never used it. Robert bought me one right before our wedding. I wouldn't use it for years. Very patient, my husband. So I forget where I was now. Oh, petrified. That's it. So do be prepared when you see these things. You can make your own decisions, of course. Do you think they're for real? Do you think they're not? Do you think they're CGI? Well, good luck with that, because I haven't figured that out. And the people that are showing the clips haven't figured it out. And the people who took the film are going, oh, I know. That's evil. Basically, for me, I can just take a glance, and I leave it on sometimes in the afternoons, like when I'm cleaning. Usually, sometimes I'll throw music. It's hard to say with me, but I don't have a lot of time. I will usually hit my paranormal guys, so I can listen, and then I can take a look when because some of them drag it out. I keep yelling at it. We don't need to see you looking in that hallway for 25 minutes, but so. And Twin Paranormal's another one I like. I just like the boys. I don't know why they tattooed their face. Not a good look, and they're good looking boys, but that's not going to turn out well at 40. It's just not. My hair doesn't turn out good at 40. I'm now 65. I'm wig shopping. Dolly, I need to send a shout out to Dolly Park. Open a freaking wig shop, okay? There's other women out here that by 70, we're going to need one of puppies. So we've gone through that. Catherine has been seen in public. Princess Catherine, Duchess Catherine. And she's thinner, which I didn't think was actually possible, but I was very thin myself up until don't laugh. I saw that. The dude in the corner, wife smack him. I mean, don't laugh. I only weigh 20 more pounds. Shut up. This could be fun. How much do you weigh? I do. I crack myself up sometimes. I really do. And then you go, what was that train of thought? And I went, train, thought. Aren't those two different things? I mean, yeah, I've touched base with a few people about what should be included, what should not be included. Haven't gotten anything back. tried tagging him a couple of times on videos. I haven't got my husband's running because, well, I tried to get it running. I guess he didn't tell me if it actually was running. We had to put it runs off Google. Apparently, YouTube does, and so I had to put my Google account in there. I haven't done that. They keep wanting me to sign into the new Roku downstairs. They mounted up in the that way corner. We haven't put pictures back on the wall. We haven't done a few things yet. Between being old and tired, uh, it's like you don't really even get the weekend. Crap is happening everywhere. And this morning I had to do a ward change because all of my makeup went on my blouse instead of where it was supposed to, like everywhere else. So let's throw that in. How am I get the makeup on? Grab something else. Well, I managed to dry all my jeans, and I had stopped drying things. Things shrink. I swear they do. So I was drying them air dry. I forgot threw them in, so they're now a size smaller. By the time you get through wrestling them on, you don't care if they close. They don't either. And by the way, they don't close. How big a sweater you got? I just love this 50 something. Oh no, is it 60 something now? Shut up. Nobody asked them. I sure wish I could get Cat Williams in here. He's one of my favorite. He's on my bucket list. He's the only one when I would actually break my rule of going to see someone in concert. I would go see Cat. At least I think I would. I'm pretty sure. I just adore him. I've watched him and looked for him for good grief, 40 years or more, since the start of his career. I used to love it when they played the dozens, and the one would get up and do the rap against the other guy and the other guy, and Cat would tear you to pieces. And I like to do that. So it's fun. And they get so mad because you're so calm and you're insulting the hell out of them. And I don't lose the. I still see that they're still, from what I understand, the Atlanta DA. I love how they say Fulton County, like nobody knows that Fulton County is DA for Atlanta. I don't get what the difference is. This judge that passed this thing that said, "Oh, you can go in and investigate. You just got to get rid of the boyfriend." Okay, so where did she get the money to pay him $1 million? Where did her 1.5 million come from? How much more is in there? Which mattress does she have it shoved in? Whose money was it she shoved in there? Yeah, she didn't use banks, just cash. She just shoved it in her mattress or in her shoebox or whatever. She's got the wrong job. She should take up comedy. I can't watch more than like 10 seconds I can't remember. It's something. He's like thrown in a dungeon or something or thrown away. Anyway, it's his broadcast. And he's good. He's got all the lowdown on that. But it doesn't even have to be. That the actual cover because it's political news. And none of them are going, we're not going to sue the bitch that took all the money out of the grants. We don't even know what the hell grants they were for. But they won't be getting done this month or, well, during her office. Whatever grants come through hers. She got some room under that mattress. You just can't make this shit up. What's the other one? Oh, yeah. There are more officers dying. There are more border officers dying. There are more people dying. The Ukrainians are dying en masse. The RDF is taking some losses, but not heavy losses. But they still they may be right at 700 losses, and they'd already lost a couple of thousand in the attack on the 7th of October. What makes my ass want to drink of water, I'm sorry, it's been a long day, is the fact that they turn around and they tell them, you can't fight. You're doing this out of retaliation. Well, let's see, 75 years. They deal with 20 to 80 bombs a day, missiles a day. They don't hit same thing. They hit, everywhere. So they shouldn't fight for their people. How many hostages are left? Well, they don't know how many are alive, but we got some in there. Well, they'll let them go eventually. What? And now they're sticking on this thing of a two-state democracy. I'm like, where the hell did that ever work? And who the hell do you think we are? We're not the world's police. That's why you supposedly created NATO and the UN. And for God's sake, somebody disband who and put them all in the Hooskow, because not only are they implicit in taking funds that weren't theirs, they used those funds to make a virus that would kill most of the planet. And at this point, they should be in a tribal court date, just like they did the Nazis that they caught. Try them in Nuremberg, try them in Rome. I don't give a damn where you try them, but try them. They're guilty. And they're guilty. You guys are afraid of Trump because Trump don't take no shit. He don't need your shit. He don't need your money. And you can threaten him all day long. He don't give a shit. This is a man who passed West Point in the top 3. This is a smart man. This is a military man. This is a man who knows finance. That same man tells you, you're paying who to kill you? Does anybody listen? Oh, hell no. They just go out and get more masks, by the way, which are ineffectual. Nobody caught on to the fact that for a year, this was over a year, Fauci, that ruinous little, I'm trying to be nice here, that little turd, it's just, you need a mask, you don't need a mask, you need a mask, you don't need a mask. Well, we were trying to keep it for the first responders. Well, you should have said so. On with the mask, off with the mask. And then masks don't work. Then masks do work. Masks don't work. Well, I got to tell you, folks, a mask will work if you're within 6 feet of a patient, say, who has pneumonia. And it'll work for a good 10, 15 minutes. And then you get out. You take the protective clothing, the mask, all of that, and put it in a biohazard garbage bin, because that's where it belongs. Because after 10 or 15 minutes, it is a biohazard. So your mask that you're wearing over and 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 over, and over for like 3 years, most of them did. If there was COVID in that mask, you caught it big time, because that's what happens when you wear those. So they lied to us every week, and they lied to Trump. Don't call it the Chinese virus. Don't call it the Chinese flu, although it is indeed a form of pulmonary pneumonia. Don't call it what it is. We can call it Spanish flu, but they're better about stuff like that than the Chinese. I love the thing was you have to have the shots. My wrinkle, yeah, kiss my grits. I did not get that shot. I got a flu shot once about 20 years ago, and I was sick for 3 weeks. I mean, sick. Couldn't get out of the bed to the toilet sick. And there's no way they're giving me another one. I watched him give the hospital staff came in and to show everybody it was just nothing. Well, it's nothing to stick a needle in your arm and pull a shot in. It might hurt a little bit, but ain't no big deal. No, that's not why I didn't get the shot, because I had such a reaction, and they told me, "Oh, you'll be fine, you'll be fine." There is nothing to help you. If you can't keep even water down, oh well, you'll get over it. And that's how they treat you. When you take this flu shot at that time that they were required at the VA, that you take it. And I told them I ain't required to take a goddamn thing from here. You trust me on that. After they did it to me one time, and yet they were up there too. And this whole hospital is lined up, in their suits, all of them up there. They got their scrubs on, got their white coats on. Believe me, I've done that too for years and years and years. And I'll tell you what, you want to walk around a hospital, you want to see somebody, they say you can't see, put on a white smock and some scrubs. You go where you want to go. Appearance really is everything, guys. But it was, line up and they get the shot, but they sit them down. And I, out of curiosity, I was like, why are they now requiring these shots? I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. I still have my scar from smallpox. 3 generations after me, they never got that. In fact, we can't find a generation besides us that has that smallpox scar. We're it. Okay, we're it. Smallpox has come back, measles have come back, polio has come back, diphtheria has come back, yellow fever has. I could go on. You getting me? You feel me? Yeah, it's all back. So I'm thinking, well, where's this stuff coming from? Because I had to go through the shot thing, go military overseas too. That sucker hurts. Let me tell you what. Finally, like they shot through this arm and they came out the other one, and they get both arms at the same time. So when they tell you to get there and graft that bar, you're like, okay, yeah, not gonna happen. But yeah, that so it caught my attention. So I stopped on it for a minute. It was on YouTube, which is where actually I watch most things now because I have home Wi-Fi and that's all, and home internet. But yeah, I got tired of watching it. And so I'm watching, and this one girl gets up and she's next, and she sits down and she's cracking jokes. And I like the girl. She reminded me of me. I like to sit down. I get nervous too, and I'll crack jokes so I'm nervous. And they may not be good ones. I didn't say they was good ones. I'm going to be here all week. I'll get better. So she gets the shot. She thanks the young lady. They slap the bandage on it. She gets up. She doesn't get 5 feet from that chair, and she face plants into that floor. Didn't make an effort to stop her head or move her arms down. Nothing. She was gone before she hit that floor that fast. Now I estimated it, and I think they came out later and did it, but I ran it back while I had a chance to do so, and I estimated that she had about a minute and 30 odd seconds before he face planted that girl. That girl was already in a coma, and I literally mean a coma when she hit the floor. That girl was put in the hospital, was in a coma for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And a few people checked on her and said that we got some information from the family on YouTube if you looked for it. But that shot nearly killed her. And yet she was hospital staff and she was under management to take that shot. I'd have sued the ever living piss out of them. It's amazing she lived through it. It was absolutely amazing. You wouldn't believe what damage it did to the young woman, what it did to her organs. I mean, it was horrific. She'll never work again, and she had 3 children. Um, you know, and yet she had to take that because she worked there. Well, I don't give a damn. I've worked in many hospitals across this planet, and I'm not talking U.S., but across Europe as well. And there's no way they would have gotten permission to make me do that. You can take your job and stick it. And I'd have been able to walk out of there and not worry about shot because to replace me, I had to train 5, 6 people every time I left. So they knew I could do my job as well as 5 people could. And it's not that easy to get 5 people assigned to a place like that anywhere, you know. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying you have to stand your principles sometimes. And it's coming back in. So now they want us to do it on a contract. Well, they're going to have trouble getting me to sign a contract that I stuffed up their ass. Yeah, I can see doing that. Be a hell of a fun thing to do. I guess I'm going to have to get off of here, though. I done my daily rant. Hang in there, pray for the IDF. Pray that those 11 million that came across aren't all terrorists. I saw 2. They said flat out, they said everything but I am a terrorist. There is one that came across that said, I am a terrorist. Please help me. I do not want to be. And they're helping him. But if those 2 pretty much got into camera's face and said, yeah, we're terrorists. Us and some and cocky is, I mean, I don't care who you are. I'd have face planted them in the sand and sat on them for 30 minutes to see if they could still breathe. And then I would have pepper sprayed him. And I hadn't seen how well he was doing with that. And then I would have shot him with a taser. And when he could finally quit pissing his pants, I might then put him in handcuffs. I got a problem with people who want to come over here and kill innocent children. This is what the terrorists do. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you worship. That is entirely not my business. That's your business. But you should have a problem if you think there is even 0.11100 of a chance that they could kill your kids with a bioweapon that they brought here by crossing the Mexican border, and that will kill 1 million to 2 million kids and fit in a little bitty case in his backpack, which never got searched. And trust me, those things are there. Okay, you don't have to use a missile. And it what my blood actually went cold when I saw Yasser Arafat his acceptance speech to the UN, which was they would still kill every Jew that they found, and then they would start on the Gentiles. And he pointed his finger at the camera and he said, "America, you're next. We're already there. We will take your country." And that was his acceptance speech. By the way, Yasser Arafat was also the first leader of the terrorists at that time called the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization. They've changed that a little bit now. I think they're calling them Hamas or Hezbollah or whatever the hell the Houthis are talking about. It's time. Get your buns in here and talk to me. It's time for the hippie. I need all hippies to circle the wagons. You know? No, we're not going to be out here being Oppenheimer. And hopefully not too many black helicopters are going to land because, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But all of you who see me, all of you who have decided that we've we pay for this, we pay for this. And I'm not talking about the stuff. We pay for them to kill people. When I was saying what took me aback, and it took me a minute to get that under control, was at Sharifa Hospital this morning. At least that's when I saw it. They brought a child in on a makeshift type stretcher where you hold the poles, kind of like World War One, and they went running through to the operating section. And as they passed, for a second, she didn't recognize them, of course. And then it hit her. It was her daughter. It was her daughter. And she ran and she screamed and she ran and she screamed and ran. And there were boys, young men that brought the child in this, I call it a travoy, but it's not, it's a stretcher. And they had gotten her to the surgeons there. Now, Sharif is the only hospital that's partially still working. And that is because of the IDF. That's not because of Hamas. No, the Israelis are helping to keep that open for them, trying to give them a safe spot, a safe place, places where they can help the people that are wounded, because they're not trying to kill those people. They're just wanting to break Hamas down, seal the tunnels so they can't do it anymore. And this is just as good for the Palestinians as it is for the Israelis. It means the Palestinians can live without that yoke on their neck, that we can use you any way we want to. We're going to go through your refrigerator, you get the new tunnel. I can't make that up. They actually had come out that way. Um, I don't know, unfortunately, if her child lived or died. But when she went running through that hospital behind her kid, I mean, when the awareness even crept over her, I busted out crying because I saw that. I saw it just sweep over. I don't know what I would do. I don't believe I could live much longer without my child. I think I would just die of a broken heart. But there's been a lot of people that only have one child and they've had to let them go because they're gone. My husband has a young lady, beautiful spirit. She crossed at 3 years old. So he understands how hard it would be to lose your child. There's no relief for that. It never goes away, nor should it. But you have to keep making those steps every day. You still got to go on. I don't know how he does it, but and especially to be such a great guy. Many people fall into drink and drugs and all of that. He's still the great guy that'll stop when he sees a couple of older people trying to figure out what's wrong with their car, and he'll stop and he'll get them going, or he'll take them home and he'll come bring them their vehicle back. I mean, he's just a great guy, and we need more heroes like him. And he's a veteran as well. He's an Army veteran too. But our generation is too late for him. We've served as best we can. So maybe now we could serve at Woodstock. Maybe now we could serve as a great place to go to talk, or a great place to hear music, or a great place to learn out. How did they have 60,000 pyramids in Guatemala and never know they were there? Yeah, and there are new discoveries awaiting us every day, like the seven doors in the tunnel that they got to, seven or nine. But anyway, they opened them, and the last one said, "You open this, you ruin the world." Damn thing. The world would be destroyed. And they didn't open it. But they're trying to make them open it. And not their own country. I can't, I think it's Russia that's trying to make them open it. So I'm like, at least they went, this says, no, let's not open it. At least they didn't go like Pandora, so peek in there. I mean, it flat out says the world will end if you open the door. I mean, and in different languages and 1,500 times. And it's like, yeah, we're going to leave this bitch here. They had already, behind each door were treasure troves, billions of dollars, each door. Look it up. Or ask me, I'll put a link in for you. But there was billions in each level that they opened and investigated. And so now people, I guess, are money hungry. I don't see why, because they got like 400 billion out of these places, the others. It's the populace that first was going to have to open it. Well, at least now the population has decided that the priests are right. Let's not open this bitch. The Super Collider did something, which is why I saw Mandela's funeral. And the next week I saw him being hired as president of the UN. That, yeah, okay, not rocket science. At that point, the collider was down. Talking about a little tiny dark portal opened. We had to shut it down. Hell, I don't know what they did, folks. But now the 80s is a blur. That could be for several reasons. But I've seen some stuff here that ain't right. Didn't happen that way. You know, it just did. Check out that. Tell me you want to check it out. Then it's called the Mandela effect. So if you just want to look it up, look it up. If you want to talk about it, I could talk about it all day. Sleeping Prophet, Edgar Casey. He talked about this. I'd love to talk about Edgar Casey. This man was amazing. Edna Ray Warren, also amazing man and woman. They did not charge to come and help you, and they helped everyone. They did make them able to get through what was happening. That most of them could leave. Sometimes when you do leave, the entity is actually attached to one of the persons. It's not attached to the house. So you can move 10 times and it just ramps it up again. And those are scary. I find those absolutely terrible. Because again, it's an attachment which works up into a possession. So, and on that weary note, I guess, I haven't gone through yesterday's. I need to, but throw some shit in that chat. I'd like to know if there's anybody else out there with a brain. I dare you. I really do. I dare you. Come on out here and talk to me. It's nothing. You can hit that little bell. You can subscribe. It's free. You can take it back off if you don't like it in 5 seconds. Not a big deal. Like, share, come to the bar. You don't have to be at my bar. You go to any bar. Shoot, I don't care. Just to throw you a shot glass at the kitchen table. Come on, let's talk. I dare you. I'm trying to find somebody that knows something that I really don't want to talk about. There's a reason there. It's kind of a bet thing. I don't know. Yeah, I cracked myself up. This is why I'll be here all week. Well, I should say I gotta go. I gotta go. I enjoy these talks, even though I'm just looking at myself, which is a lovely visit, so I can handle it. Not every day you say, "Hey, you look good." But in the meantime, God love you. Stay safe. Hit the damn like. See you tomorrow, guys. Toodles.